Okay, so this will be my review of the EVERLAST PowerARC 160 TIG welder slash stick welder. This is the version that has both high frequency start and post slow, which are good features to have with a TIG welder. I am reviewing this from a standpoint of somebody that's going to use it as a TIG welder because I have absolutely no intentions of using in stick mode. In fact, I'll probably end up selling the stick rod holder on like eBay or something. But anyway, this is a 160 amp machine. If you plug it into 210, which I'm not going to be able to get that plug off with one hand. I'm sorry, not 210, 220. It will get 160 amps if you plug it into 220. But obviously a lot of people don't have a 220 volt power outlet in their garage, so it comes with an adapter to plug it into 110. With 110, you get 90 amps. The machine has a 30% duty cycle, which I'm assuming the 30% duty cycle is on the full 160 amps. I think that's how they rate the machine. So it's really not intended for a commercial or a manufacturing environment where you're going to be using the machine, you know, all day, 8 hours straight. You're going to overload the machine easily. Controls of the machine. You've got your display here that shows your amperage on switch. This light here will tell you if you've overheated the machine. Obviously that light comes on, stop using it. Leave the machine on. That way the fan can spin and let the machine cool down. Once the light goes away, I'd probably wait another like maybe 10-15 minutes after the light goes off to ensure it's cooled off. Really simple controls here. You don't have a pulse, so that simplifies the machine a lot. You have a switch here for either stick or TIG. Simple. You have your start mode, which is either a lift start, which honestly I hate lift start. I never use it. Or high frequency. Great feature with the high frequency, makes it really easy to start an arc. Obviously you have your amperage control here, which it shows it goes down to 10 amps, but I think it actually starts off as low as 5 amps, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. You have your post flow settings, which is after you've let off the thumb control or let off the foot pedal and you're stopped welding, it'll flow gas for either 1 second or all the way up to 10 seconds. That does two things. One, it cools off the metal, it continues to shield the metal, and it also helps to cool off your torch head, which is really important. If you're running it on 220 and you've got up to 150, 160 amps, you really want that post flow to cool your torch off. Okay, accessories. Obviously, this is your ground clamp here. It's a pretty decent ground clamp. It's not super heavy duty, but it's pretty good. Here's your torch head with it comes with the thumb control already mounted on it, which is kind of nice. I've used it both the thumb control and the foot pedal, and honestly, I'm kind of liking the thumb control. The cable itself comes with this really nice denim shield over it to protect the wires. Nice little feature. Not something that I remembered reading about in the description, but nice little surprise. Another nice little surprise is I must have glazed over this, but I didn't read in the description, or I don't remember reading it coming with a foot pedal, which is nice because you have that where you have the switch, it's just an on-off. This you actually get, you actually get the adjustment. It's an okay foot pedal. It's kind of, as I'm moving it, it's kind of got a rough feeling into it, but it's a pretty good foot pedal. I mean, it's nothing bad. As far as accessories goes, it doesn't come with a tungsten, but it comes with it comes with both the full-size back cap that you see here, so you can put a full-length tungsten in it, or you've got a stubby back cap to fit into tight places, but then obviously you need to either break or cut your tungsten so they'll fit. Back cups, it comes with a 4, 5, and a number 6, which I have on the torch right now. Cups, your collet body, and 3 different sized collets for different sized tungstens. I'm using this machine right now with a 1/16 inch, it's called a red, which is 2% thoriated. That's probably, in my opinion, I think it's the most commonly used tungstens. Companies have been recently coming out with all sorts of hybrid tungstens and rare earth ones, and honestly, if you're just starting out, your best bet is red tungsten. They're fairly cheap. A pack of tungstens is, I think, maybe 13 or 14 bucks, which is, I think, a seven come in a pack, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong there, but oh well. Gas. Obviously, you need to go out and buy yourself, if you don't already have one, a bottle of straight argon. You really don't want to use argon CO2 mix, although you technically can. Your welds will technically look like shit. So I use straight argon. I heard a couple reviews online where people said their regulators leak. I checked mine. Mine doesn't leak, so maybe they installed theirs wrong. I don't know, but I haven't had any problems with mine. Yeah, I think that's it. I've used the machine a couple times. Oh, a quick thing for those of you, this is your first TIG welder. You're obviously going to be welding steel with this machine, so if you're TIG welding, you want to plug your ground clamp, which is this guy over here, you want to plug it into the positive side, which is going to sound a little funny, but that's what you want. And then your torch plugs into here, and the gas inlet is kind of this strange quick release. It leaks a little bit, but not really too concerned with it. I used it on 110 at I think about 65 amps on the welding cart that I'm building. Please excuse the mess in my garage. I've got a ton of stuff I'm working on right now, but that's a story for another day. I've used it on this cart, which I think the material is like 40 thousandths, 50 thousandths thick or something like that, and it was at like 60 amps, and it welded really, really good. I'm using, this is ER70S filler rod, which I also got on Amazon. I forgot to mention that. I bought the machine on Amazon, and I got the filler rod with it. Yeah, for those of you, this is your first machine, I'm going to give you a couple pointers right now. When you buy the machine, there's a couple other things you need to buy with it. Obviously, gas, I already said that. You're going to need filler rod, which this ER70, this is for just straight mild steel. There's different forms of filler rod. There's different forms of, what would you call it? There's different ways that they mix different metals together to create a rod that one will flow a little bit better, one will be a little bit stronger. But that's a good all-purpose filler rod for steel. If you're welding stainless steel, you want to use the same alloy or as close to. Like if you're welding 304 stainless, there's no 304 filler, but you want to get 308. If you're welding 316 stainless, you want to get 316 filler. What else? So yeah, you're going to need a gas bottle, you're going to need filler rod, you're going to need tungstens. I'm using, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'm using 1/16 inch red, which is 2% thoriated. I think I mentioned that. That's 3. You're going to also need a welding helmet, obviously. Don't go out and get the cheapest, like, $20 helmet you can find. Spend at least 50, 60 bucks on a decent auto darkening helmet. You're going to need some TIG welding gloves. Don't just go to Pet Boys and buy some mechanics gloves and think you're going to be alright, because you're probably going to end up burning your hand. Trust me, I've done it before. But yeah, I think that's it. Another thing you don't necessarily need, but that would come in really good handy would be a good welding table, one made out of steel. You can build one yourself with the machine, obviously, but you want the table made out of steel, and then the top surface of the table to be bare metal. And then you can just hook your ground clamp up to the side of the table, and anything you put on the table would be automatically grounded. Also comes in really good handy. It's just to have a nice little cart. This is one I'm building. I've got a mount back here, which is going to be braced to here. A mount to hold my bottle so my bottle doesn't fall over. Chain's a little loose. But I've got room on this cart for my MIG welder and my TIG welder, and a toolbox on top. So, yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting, but yeah. TIG, $420. Gas bottle, $155. That's a 60 cubic foot. What did I pay for this? I think I paid like $22 for this. Is a pound of filler. Tungstens will run you about 14, 15 bucks. Helmet, 60 bucks. Gloves, 25. Yeah, I think that's it. Nice little machine. EVERLAST PowerARC 160.